Caitlin Huey Burns is a national political reporter with Real Clear Politics, and she joins me now. Good to see you.
Good to see you too. Thanks.
All right, so let's get into all things politics here. I want to start with this war of words over Hillary Clinton's basket of deplorables remark. Some Republicans are warning that Trump's rebuttals may actually draw new attention to some of these alt-right groups that have vowed to support him. What are you hearing?
Yeah, and that's certainly what the Clinton campaign is calculating right now. So they made the remark, she made the remark on Friday, said she regretted describing half of his supporters as deplorable, but they have since not backed away from everything else, kind of using this as a way to highlight the fact that they say that the campaign has drawn support from people like David Duke, people from who have known for racist and bigoted comments and such. And so they're trying to play this out to their advantage. Donald Trump is making the calculation that this will work to their advantage, saying that Clinton demeaned a whole entire group of people, that she's underestimating the reason that people are supporting him. Broad brush kind of thing. And so both sides are trying to play this out. I think the Clinton campaign is figuring, though, the more attention that's paid to these kinds of elements of the Donald Trump campaign, the more it benefits them. Also raises questions among Republicans. Do you really want to support him? That kind of thing.
Well, she has walked those comments back in some instances. We know that, and this is something we were just talking about to Katrina Pearson, one of his national spokesperson, to be fair to Mr. Trump and to the Trump campaign, they say they can't prevent people from supporting them, that they're not necessarily have anything to do with the fact that David Duke is out there saying that he supports the Trump campaign.
Right, and the Trump campaign has since denounced people like David Duke, although they were slow to do so. Right. Donald Trump was slow to do so earlier in the campaign. Remember saying he didn't really know who David Duke was. So that controversy was there. The Trump surrogates don't want to use the word deplorable in order to kind of give more breath to use Clinton's term to describe their own supporters. Mike Pence has been interviewed over the past 24 hours on various different media, and he has been asked, are these people deplorable? They're hesitant to use that word, but denouncing those people. So the argument that Trump is trying to make is that this kind of thing paints a disconnect between Clinton and working Americans, they say. And so they're not trying to go down the elements of racism and bigotry that Clinton is talking about. They're trying to say that Clinton is painting with a broad brush Americans, and some of whom don't support her. And so that, I think, has an effect of rallying his supporters, certainly.
Does it? I mean, the question, I think, and I spoke to Steve Shigaris earlier this morning, and I asked him if this was somewhat reminiscent of the time that President Obama made those comments about people clinging to guns and to their religion. Seems to me a little different. When you say religion, that's a lot, a lot of people in this country here. Is this something that will perhaps make his supporters angry, but not necessarily those moderates or even those who support him?
Yeah, it's a really great context. That and Romney's 47%. Right. There have been all these parallels drawn. I think this issue is a little more complicated than that. We saw a recent ABC Washington Post poll that showed 60% of Americans thought Trump was biased towards minorities and women. We're seeing in polls questions about his temperament, questions about whether he is fit to serve. And so I think the calculation on the Clinton campaign is that this kind of feeds into that notion that Trump has provided enough evidence of demeaning various groups and kind of inciting this kind of reaction from supporters. While he says he can't control it, the kinds of things they say are attracting some of these people. We'll see how that plays out. I do think it galvanizes his supporters. I'm wondering how it plays among those who are undecided or deciding whether to vote at all. Whether this kind of highlights what they already know, confirms what they already think, or whether this just makes them, not excited about it, either one.
The other big issue that people are talking about this week, Caitlin, is the medical records of Donald Trump. He's going to do a television event with Dr. Oz to talk about them. People certainly have been rightfully critical of Hillary Clinton and her campaign for withholding information that she was very sick with pneumonia over the weekend. But there have also been points made that the press is holding Hillary Clinton accountable in the way that you might hold a traditional presidential candidate accountable, and that Donald Trump is graded on a curve. You heard President Obama saying that it appears that in some instances the press is even grading Trump on a curve. What do you make of those criticisms?
Right, they're certainly there. I think when it comes to the Clinton issue and the issue of health, I think the real issue was that of transparency, and because that's been something that's been dogging her campaign for a while now, because of those untrustworthy numbers that are high when you're asking voters, those numbers are high for Trump too. And so both candidates need to be held to the account that we've held to previous candidates running for office. Disclosure of medical records. Donald Trump has said that he'll release the physical results. That's not the same as a medical history. Certainly, Clinton has been more transparent on certain things than Donald Trump, releasing health records, releasing tax returns, releasing charitable donations, and that sort of thing. Donald Trump has not. But they still, the question is posed to both of them to release those records and have the public decide what to make of them, have reporters parse through, have medical experts parse through. Remember, John McCain in 2008 made 1,200 pages available.
And that the standard now. It almost feels like that's the standard.
Modern standard, exactly. And the issue with Donald Trump is that even if these standards apply, they don't really seem to have an effect on him. He hasn't been really bothered by the fact that he has not released his tax returns, and he's not going to, I don't think. He has not released a full medical report, and we'll see what he releases. We'll see what Clinton releases. We're not quite sure exactly what the information will be.
All right, Caitlin Huey Burns, always good to have you. Thank you.
Good to see you. Thanks.